I bet those glasses make you see better.
You said that you perhaps had a quarrel with women losing value as they age.
Yeah.
Women losing options as they age. And you wrote, men wanting younger women, not always true. Younger doesn't necessarily mean hotter.
Mm-hmm.
Our prime doesn't end strictly at 30.
Yeah, I think you can extend it a little bit past 30. It's not like 33-year-olds and a 30-year-old are wildly different in looks. I mean, I always pretty much look the same. I think it does matter how you take care of yourself. I would say if you gained like 30 pounds or something like that at 33, yeah, you're going to look a little worse. But overall, age pretty slowly as long as you take care of yourself.
But I'm a bit so. And remind me, your question to the looks or the aging question.
Yeah.
You said you're 42?
40.
Or 40. Mm-hmm. You said better looking at 50 or no?
No.
And then, but you said 30 was your prime area.
25 to like 37, I think was pretty solid. Yeah,
okay.
Pretty similar.
And do you feel like your options, your options have increased as you've gotten older?
I think it's pretty much been the same.
Been the same.
Yeah.
No changes. Like, did men do more shit for you when you were 20 versus now at 40?
I think I tolerated things I shouldn't have, and I think that just has to do with like my previous standards and just the things I tolerated.
Okay.
So.
And you said men wanting younger women, not always true. I mean, I don't disagree. There are men who...
There's a lot of younger men that date older women. I hear about it a lot. And they're in relationships with them too. I've seen it. I mean, my ex-boyfriend was 25 when I was 37.
Yeah, I don't dispute that it happens.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think, generally speaking, typically, you think would you agree that men tend to prefer younger women?
Yeah, generally, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if there's much dispute there. Younger doesn't necessarily mean hotter.
Yeah. I think it depends. Like I said, it depends on how you take care of yourself. Just because... Can
I ask you a question, though?
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to, like, the biological reality of having kids, though...
Yeah.
Even if we just remove looks from it, don't you think men are going to make it, like if you're a 40-year-old guy who wants to have kids, don't you think he's more likely to try to pursue like a woman in her early 30s or late 20s when it comes to kids?
Maybe.
You can still have kids at 40, just to be clear. Mm-hmm. But the fertility, it does start decreasing.
It does. I think it depends. I don't know. I don't know what men are thinking. I don't know if they look at me and think, oh, she probably can't have kids. I don't know if they're making that assumption. I never heard that before.
I don't think they would say it to your face.
Yeah, so I don't really know.
They don't. They're not going to assume things that way.
Right.
No, this is not it's not a thing which we're mentally going through. The idea is just when you're talking about attraction, youthful features are obviously going to be more attractive because that's correlated with fertility. That's exactly why you would understand attraction to be the way it was. Obviously, from even an evolutionary standpoint, we wouldn't be attracted to things that we didn't want to reproduce with, right? That wouldn't make any sense. So if men are looking at younger women as being more attractive, likely it's tied into fertility, right? That makes sense.
That might be.
We're not like cognitively doing it. In other words.
Yeah, like it's like a it's not a conscious thing.
Right.
It's just kind of like But what I'm saying is like, just because you're 22 doesn't necessarily mean you're automatically hot. Not everyone's good looking. You can be an ugly 22-year-old man or woman.
But we would make the concession here that that is indeed true.
Right.
That not every 22-year-old is hot.
Right.
But can you make the concession that there's a hell of a lot more hot 22-year-olds than there are 42-year-olds?
Probably.
Yeah, then we're not even arguing anything at this point, right? You're just essentially saying that youthful fertility is attractive to men.
Have you frozen your eggs?
No.
No.
All right, guys, read 100 TTS. All right, so let's get into. I'm going to try to
real quick. I just wonder if I could finish very quickly this exchange. I was just wondering something. there's a theory which is out there, because you and I were just discussing younger women versus older women, and you said, not necessarily do I think that men would be going after the younger woman over the older woman. A prominent theory which is out there is that women who are single and who are in their late 30s or early 40s often say this because they're trying to root out competition by shaming men, by saying men shouldn't be attracted to women who are younger than they are, especially by a significant age gap, because they actually want to secure those men for themselves. Would you say that there's any merit to that?
I mean, I'm definitely not shaming men. I mean, I'm always younger than someone. There's like 50-year-olds that are sometimes interested, so you're always younger than someone. I'm not shaming men for liking younger women at all.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't see a problem with that, right? Like
with what?
If there was a 22-year-old woman who was dating, let's say, a 44-year-old man, you don't see that big problem, right?
So I don't. The age gaps.
Here we go.
The age.
You gave me the ick face.
Yeah, wait, let me explain.
You gave me the ick face. I got a feeling you're gonna have a problem with it.
No. I don't have a problem with age gap relationships. I just think like women 25, 24, I would say 24 and under. I think it's a little creepy when men in their 40s are going for like a 20-year-old. I think that.
What about men in their 30s?
So hang on. 30s? What you just said was
30s is a little better.
Was you did shaming of men.
Huh?
So what you literally just contradicted yourself, because you're shaming men. You're saying if men go after women who are, let's say they're 44, they go after a woman who's 24, right?
Yeah.
That's within your criteria. Mm-hmm. They're 20 years younger. You are now shaming those men. You say, because
that's
creepy.
Extreme.
Listen to the word. Hang on. Here's the verb. It's creepy, right? Why shouldn't we assume that the reason that you think that is because if men who are in that age bracket who would be a prime target for you, you're just super jealous that they're going for the 24-year-old? Why shouldn't that be assumed?
No, definitely not jealous. I think that women that young.
And what makes it creepy?
Because I think women that young are very vulnerable and naive. They don't know how to look for red flags. They don't know how to discern. And I think they're very prone and vulnerable to being taken advantage of, especially by an older man. And I've seen it before.
Hang on, at one point at a time. My counter to your first point is that I don't think 40-year-old women do any better. I don't think 40-year-old single women do any better when it comes to singling out red flags and this, or they wouldn't be single to begin with.
No, yes. I'm much better at discerning red flags now than I was when I was younger. That's for sure.
Then why would the 24-year-old be able to secure a man and secure his assets when the 40-year-old single woman has not been able to, if they're so great at figuring out what's a red flag and what isn't?
How do you know there's a 24-year-old that secured a 40-something-year-old man? Like, what?
Because it's entailed in the hypothetical. Single 40-year-old women upset because 40-year-old man going out with 24-year-old woman. This means 24-year-old woman has secured man. You say, no, I just think it's creepy because she can't make the decisions on red flags. But it's like, but then why would you be single at 40 if you could?
Because there's not enough men that are mentally mature enough. And I haven't found a man that doesn't have any sort of toxicity or emotional immaturity. If they're not mentally
mature enough, then shouldn't they be with younger, more immature women?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But not 44-year-olds.
Well, wait, what? That makes no sense. Well, that makes no sense. Like, if they're not mature enough to be with a woman of your caliber at 40, then why wouldn't they be with somebody who was more mentally on their level?
I think,
younger.
I'm not saying like the 44-year-olds emotionally necessarily mature. I just think they have more awareness, and they're aware of the fact that they're easier to control a younger woman, easier to manipulate her. She probably doesn't have really any self-respect or standards, and she's just more vulnerable to being taken advantage of. That's all I'm saying.
So you would advise those younger women not to go out with those older men?
I would tell them to be careful. Just be careful.
So then what that does is, of course, it opens the pool up for more of those men in that age bracket for you. It still sounds like jealousy, but
definitely not.
But there's a second component to it as well, which is, why is it that a man would not prefer to have a woman that didn't have a 40-year-old single woman's baggage?
What baggage do I have? I'm never married. I don't have any kids, no divorces.
I'm not talking about you specifically. We're talking about a hypothetical 40-year-old woman, not you.
Why would a 40-something-year-old want? You're saying why?
Well, here, I'll explain. You agree with me, the older you get, the more baggage you end up with, right?
Typically.
typically, right? So then
Yeah.
why would it not stand to reason that if a man could secure a young, very fertile woman, and she didn't have a lot of baggage, that wouldn't be preferable to an older woman who was not as fertile and had a lot of it?
Yeah, I mean, if it's your preference, if you want someone who doesn't have kids, then find someone that doesn't have kids. I mean, I don't disagree with that. I just think the age gap of like 20 years is pushing it on any end. Like a 60-year-old with a 40-year-old, like me with a 60-year-old, I think that's pushing it.
But I thought the 40-year-old knew how to identify all the red flags.
They do. I just think it's extremely...
Then what would be the problem with her getting a 60-year-old? If clearly there couldn't be very many red flags.
What do you have in
'cause
common
that's
with
your
a
whole
60-year-old?
objection, right?
Can I say something?
What do you have in common with a 60-year-old? I just think that you're not on the
What
same...
does anybody have in common with anybody? You know what? It's
Not
really
on the
funny.
same
women,
page.
Women bring this up a lot, right? They bring up the idea of like, what do you have in common with X? I sat down with my wife the other day, and you know what's really funny? I've been married to her for an awful long time. We don't fucking hardly have shit in common. Like, I play video games all the time, right? And like, I like to play Red Dead Redemption 2, where I'll go around and I'll like grab the feminist and I'll drag her on the train tracks and let a train hit her. You know what I mean? And then I'll pull out double 6-shooters and just unload them into that like feminist corpse in the game, right? My wife doesn't like that shit. And you know what else she does? She does her nails all the time. And you know what? I don't do nails, and I don't give a shit about nails. And she'll talk to me about it. She'll be like, what do you think of my nails? I don't fucking care about your nails. I don't give a shit, right? In fact, the more we started going through it, we realized, actually, we don't really have all that much in common, ultimately.
So-
Why is that even a problem?
I think that when you're like 20 years age gap on either side, like women going for like a older man or a man going for a younger woman, I think there's like an agenda at hand. I just don't think it's authentic. I think there's an
Yeah,
agenda.
I think there is an agenda on
Yeah.
at hand. I think that she probably likes him because he's distinguished
And has
probably
money.
has a lot of resources,
Right.
and he likes her because she's young and fertile. What does that have to do with stuff in common, though? Like, what does that have to do with stuff in common? Like, when you really think about it, what do you have in common with most men?
Well,
Like, here, let me give you an example. Can you tell me, what's a jigsaw? What is it?
I think it's a tool.
Yeah, what does it do?
It probably slices
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, like no idea, right? No clue.
We don't need to have-
If you had to, hang on, just a real quick question, right? When it came to a pistol, let's say just like a normal semi-automatic handgun, could you actually walk me through the process of loading it?
Yes.
Yeah, I have one.
Go ahead, walk me through the process.
You put it in like the little mag. You put the bullets in, and you push them down, and you put the next bullet in, and you do it, and until you're to the top, and then you push it in, and there you go.
And there you go.
I know how to load a handgun.
You got it. Yeah, I mean, you got this down pat, right?
But that's-
what about the fact, like, can you tell me what your favorite war movie is?
No, I don't think.
No,
I don't think
right,
that.
right. No, because you don't have fucking shit in common with men. You got nothing in common with men. Nothing.
On the
How about
commonality
this?
thing.
How about last one.
I just think you're in different places in your life. Like young girls probably still want to party, not have a family. So what's a 40-something doing starting a family with a 20-something-year-old? I mean, some
Yeah,
of
what's he
them.
doing starting it with a 40-year-old when she doesn't watch war movies and he loves them? She don't
That's-
talk about Rome.
things
and he
like that
loves
don't really
Rome.
matter,
She don't
though.
talk about history. He loves history.
That doesn't-
She doesn't play video games. He loves video games. What the
doesn't
fuck do
really-
they have in common?
That those little things are not important enough.
Well, then what is the thing? What is the commonality that we're looking for here? What are the things in common that are so meaningful that a 40-year-old's going to have with a 40-year-old man that a 25-year-old woman's not? What is it?
I just think it's too big.
Right? No, give me the thing. Give me the
You
thing.
said commonality. Answer the
What
question.
is it?
I just think you're different places in your life.
Yeah, can
you
you
have
give me
different
what the
interests in
commonality is?
how you want to
What
live
is
your
the
life.
thing
And
that
you got to
40-year-old
answer his question.
I think the young women are not going to want to settle down.
Yeah,
Some of
that's
them
not
do.
Answer his
Some
question.
do.
Answer his question.
Just
Listen,
said
here's my question again.
lifestyle.
I'll give you my I'll give you my question again.
Lifestyle.
What is actually the thing we're looking for that's a commonality between two 40-year-old people versus a 40-year-old man with a 25-year-old woman? What is the thing that the 40-year-old woman's going to have in common when the 25-year-old isn't? What is that thing?
I just think they have more. I just think they're a little bit wiser and more intelligent, have more life
What's the
experience.
thing they have in common, though? That the 40-year-old, hang on, what's the thing the 40-year-old's going to have in common with him, the 25-year-old's not? What is that thing?
Just the ability to have a mature and insightful and deep conversation.
25-year-olds are incapable of mature and insightful
not
conversations.
necessarily, but most of the guys I talk
so
to.
all the 25-year-old women who are at that table who are 25 and under are incapable of having insightful conversations?
It's not. It's just that I don't think they're as wise as an older woman would be. I just don't think.
Yeah, but that's not talking about what is in common. What's the common thing? What is the thing that they need to have in common?
It's just mentally, they're not on the same level. Like, I don't think the conversations are going to be as deep and as quality as being
What
with
if he
someone.
doesn't give a shit? Like, do you realize that most of the time
Then
men
it's
don't
surface
give a shit
level.
about having some deep conversation?
Well, then
right?
you're
Like,
looking
what-
for something surface level, and I'm looking for something deeper than that.
Why does it? Hang on. Why would it be surface level that you don't enjoy deep conversations? Why is that surface level?
It's surface level. If you don't care about emotional connection, you build an emotional connection by having conversations and being vulnerable with each other. If you erase that from the whole thing, then why are you together? Just doing things for each other and just having fun? And I mean,
It sounds
there's
like
no
a thing a
emotional connection.
25-year-old. So by your criteria, all a 25-year-old would need to do is be emotionally vulnerable with this guy, and him emotionally vulnerable with her, and they have deep conversations, and then voila, problem solved.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's the youngest guy you dated?
25.
What did you guys have in common?
The gym.
Wait, you literally are in age gap relationships. You date younger men.
Yeah,
What are you
and
complaining
I made,
about? Are you a predator? Are you grooming the younger men?
No, because that wasn't.
Creepy,
That
no,
wasn't.
it's
I
very
said if
creepy,
it's
though.
20 years, that's an extreme.
Oh, okay.
12 years is not. I don't see a problem with 12 years.
So it's because you're engaged in one that's 12 years, right?
I'm
That's
not
awful
engaged in
convenient,
one.
isn't it?
I'm not engaged
awful
in one.
convenient that you
Well,
draw
there
the
was a-
threshold.
there
Hang
was
on,
a-
Isn't it? Hang on.
Private chat.
Isn't it awful convenient that you draw the threshold past the gap that you currently are in? Isn't that awful convenient?
No,
How about-
20 years is pretty extreme. I said 20
12
years is
pretty
extreme. It's really not.
Well,
think
wait
I-
a second. How can I expect that a person who's 12 years your junior can have a deep, insightful conversation with you and do a long walk on the beach and be emotionally vulnerable to you, but somebody who's 25 couldn't be? Why? Why should I assume that?
We had some pretty good conversations, but ultimately I didn't think he was mentally mature enough. He was angry, and he just was unhealed, is what I noticed.
Literally all the arguments that you forwarded could just be forwarded towards your relationship. You're 40, right? You were dating a 25-year-old, or when were you dating him?
When I was 37,
37, so it was a 12-year.
12 years.
So the exact same arguments that you forwarded when it comes to men dating younger women could be forwarded in your case as well. How about this? A 30-year-old dating a 20-year-old. Objections there?
It's not as bad. I still think girls under 24 are a little bit more vulnerable to being taken advantage
Wait, just
of.
the women though, like not the men. Only the younger women. So how about this proposition? Women should not be able to vote until they're 25. Are you in favor of that?
I think they should raise the voting age a little bit. I don't think they're
Just for
smart.
women, though.
I don't think
Just for the women.
I think for everybody.
Oh,
I don't
why?
think anyone's educated enough or intelligent enough, not wise enough. I think
Okay,
they're
so
still kids making these big
Yes,
decisions.
I agree with this. No
I also
voting for
agree.
anybody until 30. I can get behind that.
Not that high, just maybe like 25 or something.
Okay, but
Yeah, no. If you're not wise enough to be able to have long walks on the beach and deep emotional conversations, I don't think I want you voting in politics. I think that you need to at least be able to be emotionally vulnerable, and you need to at least be able to have these deep emotional connections with people before I want you to be voting for who my next president is.
I don't know why
right?
you're making
That-
fun of having an emotional connection with someone. That's very
because
important.
it's meaningless. It doesn't mean anything.
It's
when you say
meaningless?
deep emotional connection, it's
Hold on.
this
Help
kind
me
of
out,
bizarre-
Joy.
Bullshit.
That is bullshit.
wait, so hold on.
No,
You
well,
can't
surface
have an
level.
emotional
Not
connection
bullshit.
with a woman, or it's not
hang
going to
on.
last.
Let me explain. I'll explain it. So that, and I think you'll actually agree with me. let's say there's Bob and Jane, and Bob and Jane, right out of high school, they get married. And Bob, he's a mechanic, and Jane, she's a stay-at-home mom. And well, they have a rough go of it for the first 20 years. They barely even talk to each other. Jane has a lot of kids, that's true, right? And they deeply, deeply love each other. But you know, Bob, he's not really the talkative type. He's pretty quiet, pretty stoic, doesn't really say very much. You know, and it's just kind of through the little things that Jane knows that Bob loves her. He doesn't forget the anniversaries, you know, but they don't say much at anniversary dinner. He doesn't forget much about Jane. He loves her. He even talks her up to other people, right? But they just don't ever really have these deep conversations and the idea of emotional vulnerability. Are you saying Bob doesn't love Jane?
Not necessarily.
No.
No, okay,
Not
right.
necessarily.
So then the idea of a deep emotional connection doesn't mean anything because they do have a deep emotional connection. They just have it in a different way than the deep emotional connection you want.
I disagree.
I gotta move things on a little bit here. So, couple questions. 30-year-old man dating 20-year-old. Do you object?
It's pushing it. I don't know.
Why is it pushing it?
Like I said, I think the girls under 24 are very young, have no life experience, they're just vulnerable to getting taken advantage of. I think they're a little bit naive.
Wouldn't they be just as vulnerable to being taken advantage of by a guy their same age? Just to be clear,
I don't think so. I don't think those men are as smart as the older men who are much more aware of what they're doing.
Yeah, but I can make an opposite argument saying that those older men are like more emotionally mature. So they're less likely to be inclined to be manipulative.
Emotional maturity depends on the person. It definitely does not depend on age. I know that for a fact.
So then I'll just apply that to women. Their maturity depends on their age. So an 18-year-old woman could be, maturity only, what?
Wait, what are you saying?
You said no. You said, it depends on the person. Okay, great.
Yeah.
It depends on the woman too. It depends on the specific woman. So an 18-year-old woman could be more emotionally mature than a 25-year-old. But you would say, oh no, you can't date the 18-year-old woman.
Could be. It's just that I highly doubt 18 to 20-year-olds can discern, and because they don't have enough life experience and relationship experience to notice the red flags. Like,
so what you're saying, as people get older, they get more emotional intelligence?
Not necessarily. What I'm saying is it's easier to discern and look for red flags and figure out if a person is right for you or not as you get older and get more experience with dating.
This would apply to men too.
You have to experience with dating to know what to look for. And when you're 18 to 20, you don't have that much experience with dating to know what to look out for, to know what's right for you. And
at what age?
18
I'm sorry, by the time, hold on, just to be clear, most women who are going to college, their first freshman quarter semester, they done already fucked like 10 dudes. What are you talking about?
You're making assumptions, but okay.
Bro,
I can actually give you the average of how many partners that women have when they get out of college. On average, it's not low, right? It's not low. So, I mean, it is true it's an assumption. I'll grant you that. Mm-hmm. It just seems like it's a fair assumption to make.
Okay.
So the thing is, though, I would like to just kind of ask you this. Let's say Bob meets Jane, and this time Jane's 25, Bob's 40, okay? And Bob really, really loves Jane, and here's why he loves her. He loves her because she doesn't have a lot of baggage, and she's beautiful, and she really doesn't say very much or challenge his authority. Is Bob a predator?
No, I said 24 and under, so I don't see a problem with a man.
Okay, she's 24, and he is 44, 20 years younger. Is Bob a predator?
I can't assume. You never know. Could be a good guy. I just think.
No, here's the only criteria
he's more likely to take advantage of her.
I'm giving you the specific criteria. He loves her for these 3 reasons. She's really hot, okay? She has no baggage, and she concedes to his authority. That's why he loves her. Those 3 reasons.
I don't think those are enough things to love someone.
Yeah, is Bob a predator?
I wouldn't. That's not enough to fall in love, in my opinion. There's so many more deeper.
He's definitely in love with her. And she has her own reasons for loving him back, but he definitely is in love with her. He just only has those 3 reasons why he's in love with her. Is Bob a predator?
Borderline. I don't know.
Borderline, okay.
Borderline a predator?
It's just a little off for me. It's just a little bit too much of an age gap.
What should Bob love her for?
I think I believe in developing an emotional connection, and I believe that when you fall in love with someone, when you are vulnerable with each other and you learn about each other and you love them through their flaws.
What should Bob love her for? So he has an emotional connection the same way that you're talking about. It's just that through this emotional connection, he's discovered he really just loves her for those 3 reasons. What should Bob love her for instead of those 3 things? What should
her
Bob love her
character? Is she a supportive wife? Is she loyal? Does she take care of him? Is she, did I say supportive? Like, it's just.
What if she's none of those things?
It's not
Bob
just
still
about
loves her?
looks. It's not just
Well,
about
wait.
looks.
If what if she's really not any of those things, and Bob still loves her? How could Bob be wrong about who Bob loves?
Well, it's hypothetical. I don't know. I don't.
Right. The thing is like the criteria becomes very arbitrary very quickly when you're talking about why you fall in love with a person, right? It becomes very arbitrary, very made up, very kind of just by whatever our own intuition is. If Bob actually loves this woman, why does it fucking matter why?
I just think those are superficial reasons to fall in love. Like, I don't think that's true love. I don't
Would
think
you
that's
date a guy who's shorter than you?
Isn't
Yes.
anything a superficial reason?
I have
to
dated
fall in
guys
love?
who are short.
Would
Oh
you-
wait, I'm sorry. Roll that back.
Everything-
Shorter than me? No, I'm 5'5". No, that's
Would
too
you?
short.
Hold on. Isn't that
That's too
superficial?
that's too
would you?
short.
Would you date a guy who's shorter than you?
And shorter than me? No, I'm 5'5".
Oh, okay. That's really
No.
superficial.
That I'm not in love with him though.
Huh?
I'm not in love with him
What
though.
if you were,
What?
though?
What?
You don't have to be in love with someone to go out with them. You don't even know them yet. You have to get to know them. So would I go
Would you
out with
marry?
someone?
Would you
who's-
marry a guy who's shorter than you?
No, because I wouldn't even go out with a guy who's shorter than me.
Okay, that's superficial.
I wouldn't be attracted
Cool.
to them.
What's wrong with that? Okay, you're superficial. So?
Whatever you find attractive is what you find attractive.
Okay, so
He's-
what if a guy is attracted
But
to
I don't.
younger women?
You can be attracted to younger women, but to fall in love with someone based on their looks is not that superficial.
Hold on. So just to be clear, it's totally okay to just fuck a young woman and never talk to her again. But if you want to have a long-term monogamous relationship and marry her, that's
out of
predatory.
bounds. That's out of line. Man.
That's out of line. You can
That's
you
out
can
of
I
fuck
didn't
her
say
and never
it was
talk to her
okay
again.
to fuck her either.
But hold on, you're making a distinction as to if you just date them, that's okay.
No, wait. You're not?
What?
So
didn't
it's
say
not okay for a 24-year-old woman to fuck a 40-year-old man if she wants
I mean,
to?
it's
or a 44-year-old
legal.
man?
It's legal. I just
You think it should be
it's-
illegal though?
No, I don't think it should be.
Because then he would be a predator.
I don't think it
right?
should
If
be
was
illegal.
He's going to jail.
No.
It's
She's over the age of 18. I don't think it should be illegal.
Is he doing
It's just
something
weird.
wrong?
It's just weird. It's just
weird. It's weird,
It's just
Andrew.
weird.
You know what's weird? You
Well,
won't date a
what-
guy
what-
who's
what-
shorter than you.
12 years.
That's weird. That's really
What-
I don't find that
You're
attractive.
really
Well,
talking.
when you're looking for attractiveness, it is kind of superficial. Yeah, whatever you find attractive, it is. You're basing it on looks, yes. But you're saying you're in love with someone because they're hot. That's superficial. That's
that
not
wasn't
love.
his-
That's what he said.
No, he gave other criteria.
Yeah, and they were
He gave other criteria.
surface level. They were
No, he was
surface
like,
level.
she's submissive.
Can I
That's
ask
like,
you a
Hang on. I'll just grant it.
Hold on.
Sure, he just is totally in love with her because she's hot. What the fuck is wrong with that?
That's not love.
Why,
You don't
how
fall
do
in love with
you say,
someone-
Wait, you get to determine what love is?
You don't
You're
fall
the
in love with
determiner of
someone-
Love?
Okay, but you're saying that you are. You're saying
No, I'm not. I'm just saying in the hypothetical, he does love her, right? But he's in love with her. And yes, it's just purely based on her looks. What has Bob done that's actually wrong here?
I don't think that's love. I think that's lust.
But you're saying that you wouldn't date a guy that's an inch shorter than you. Isn't that like kind of?
That's not. I wouldn't be in love with him because I wouldn't even go out with him.
Yeah, right, but he wouldn't even date her if she wasn't hot, so.
wait.
It's okay. I'm saying your basis for love is dependent on looks. It doesn't. I don't think that's enough to be in love.
Wait,
it's enough to be attracted.
But
not
you're
enough to be in
misrepresenting
love.
his position. His original position was he listed, look, she's really hot. Andrew, I think you said she was submissive. Maybe you worded it differently.
Yeah, so here's the 3 criteria. She's really good looking, she doesn't have any baggage, right? And she submits to his authority.
I
Those
think
are the 3 criteria.
I think
He's
that's
in love
enough.
with her.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's I think that criteria is enough to be interested and to want to date them and to find it very attractive. I don't think that's enough to fall in love.
I think you're looking at it like way too black and white. Like,
No.
also, just to be clear, men, we don't have laundry lists of shit that like y'all women who have fucking long ass lists of shit that you need. Andrew's kind of spot on. Be submissive, be pleasant, don't have baggage, be physically attractive. Literally, that's pretty much all you need as a woman. In fact, most men are probably going, most men just
They're
be
gonna count
hot.
their lucky stars if they get that shit.
If you get just that, you get a submissive, hot woman who doesn't have trauma. That's huge.
Mega bucks.
That's
mega
it.
Bucks.
That's
like
it.
the mega
For the
bucks
same.
lottery that
That's
you won
it.
5 times, right?
Now, you're trying to conflate it to there would be no other components of the relationship. I don't think that that's what Andrew's saying. He's just saying she's got those 3 things.
And that's why he's in love with her, because of those
Yeah.
3 things.
What would be wrong
alone.
with that? What would actually be wrong?
What's
with
wrong
that?
with that though? I don't like. So I don't understand. If the perspective from the man is like, these 3 things are the things that I value, and then you have those 3 things, and you're in love with that woman, and she has those 3 criteria. That's what made you fall in love with her.
It'd be
That was
part
what
of
your
it.
criteria was. Hang on, that was what your criteria was. She met him. You fell in love with her. Those are the 3 things you listed. The things about her that made you fall in love with her. How could you dispute that? Like, how could you say, Bob, that's wrong? There needs to be some fucking walk on the beach on Tuesdays, or else you don't really love her, Bob, right? Like, how can you even make that statement at that point?
I don't know. I just think falling in love requires a deeper connection than just those little things. I think that's part of it. I don't think that's enough.
You realize, like,
Well, let me ask you this. Do you believe in love at first sight?
No.
No?
No.
So, and
No, you
so
don't even
how
know
many
the person.
How many
That's
weeks
lust.
do you think? How many weeks do you think it would take, or days do you think it would take for there to at least be a baseline where there's love?
I don't. I personally think a few months. I think it takes a few months to really get to know someone. Everyone's on their best behavior the first month. Then you start to see the person around the second month. I think it takes a couple of months to really get to know them and see the real them, see them, how do they handle conflict? How do they
Now I
handle
got to talk
stress?
to my wife, because she said the day she met me, when she opened the door, right, that it was like the scene from Wayne's World where Dreamweaver was playing in the background and there was like a shining light on me, right? And she said it was love at first sight. I can't believe she fucking lied to me, Brian.
it's fucked
She
up.
lied.
It's fucked up. Really quick here, I guess final things on this. First off, with the 3 that Andrew gave, the majority of men, men will put up with a lot of bullshit. Like, men will deal with quarrelsome, nagging women. I personally don't think that's a good way to move as a man. Mm-hmm. But if you just go off of Andrew's first one, she's hot. You might not agree with it, but a lot of men, that's it. They'll fall in love with a girl. Now, this idea that those 3 prongs that he listed that's not enough. That's we don't have laundry lists of things. Be submissive. Don't bring trauma, baggage into the relationship, and be physically attractive. The vast majority of men are going to be totally fine with that. If you come with other stuff, fantastic. But that's it. 2 things here I want to talk about really quick. You mentioned commonality. One, I would think, aren't there people your exact same age who you'd be completely incompatible with? So this idea that commonality is super important seems dubious.
Yes, I think, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask a
Hold
question?
on. And I related to that though. I mean, have you ever met a guy who you have everything in common with, but you weren't attracted, you didn't want to date him? I don't think commonality in and of itself is enough to be oh, I really want to fuck this person. I really want to date with this person. I think you need more than just commonality. Oh, they like all my same music and movies, and we have this whatever. That's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
yourself a best friend.
Yeah, exactly. You found yourself a friend, but is the attraction there? So commonality, who cares about that? Let me ask you a question. One scenario. Let's say a 19-year-old girl slides into my DMs. She contacts me. I'm 35. And she says, "Hey, I want to come visit you. I want to take you on a date," whatever she says. What would be wrong with me dating her?
I think it's weird. I think she's a child. Even though she's legally...
You mean she's literally an adult?
I understand that legally she's an adult. I still view 19-year-olds as kids. Men and women.
Okay, so you view them as kids.
Yeah.
But she's approached me. I'm not like hanging out at college parties and shit trying to hit on fucking 19-year-olds. No, I'm just minding my own business. She's like, "Hey, Brian, blah, blah, blah."
Well, hang on. First of all, I don't believe you. So here, I can demonstrate it. Are you saying that a man who's 40, who's with a 19-year-old's a PDF file?
No, I think...
Well, then they can't be kids, can they?
No, but they're practically kids. It's too young.
No, they're
Okay,
literally
so
adults.
they're not kids or they are kids?
Oh my God. You're not technically a PEDO.
Okay, so then they're not kids then? Because, I mean, I'm pretty
Not
confident that we
legally.
can all agree that the definition of a PDO
Right.
is that
Right.
they go after kids, right?
Yes.
So these clearly can't be kids or else they would be PDOs.
I know.
right?
I said they're not legally kids, but I mean, they're not too far off.
Yeah, but if you thought that they were actually kids, regardless of what the law said, then these people would have to be PDOs who were with them, right?
Well, I didn't say he was a PDO. I'm just
Then
saying.
they can't be kids. Like, do you see how that works? Like, if
I view
you
them.
have to
I
be a
view them as a
kid.
kid compared to like 30s, 40s. I still view them as a kid.
Okay.
I know they're not
Here,
legally.
let's
I
try
just
this
think
way.
it's
you agree
weird.
with me that there's cultures out there where like 15-year-olds, it's perfectly acceptable. 15-year-olds are viewed as adults.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to agree with you right now. 15-year-olds are not fucking adults, regardless of what that culture says.
Right.
You agree with that, right?
Right.
Okay. So I would still say morally, that's a 15-year-old, and if you're doing stuff with them, you're a hebephile. You're doing something really evil and bad, right? But in this culture, right, you would have to then bite the same bullet and say, well, if they're actually kids, then at 19, these people would be some type of file, right? If you actually viewed them as kids.
I never once said that they are a file. I'm not calling a 40 or whatever.
Then you can't be saying that these people are kids. That's like what that is loaded language to try to socially shame people. When you say that's a kid though, and it's like, then the second I question you, I realize actually you don't view them as kids, because if you did, you would view the person who was with them as being some kind of predator, right? You'd have to. Or can you name another situation where an adult goes after a kid where they're not predators? I'd like to hear it.
No,
you
that's
can't.
just my
Yeah.
opinion.
You had something? Go ahead.
How many years is it weird? Is it 10, 15?
I said 20.
So there's actually a formula for that, which just, I'll make this quick, but it's half your age plus 7 is like your base, and then double your age minus 7 is your ceiling, typically, like socially speaking. So as a 40-year-old, your lowest, let me do quick math, would be 27. And on the high side, it would be double your age. So 80 minus 7 would be 73.
Oh.
So the older you get, the bigger it gets. But typically, socially, there is a formula for what that age gap should be.
I just think it's weird that you keep using, well, women aren't mature enough and XYZ, but I'm still going back to the fact that you dated someone 12 years younger than you, and it sounds like you're okay with it being men, or like, you know, like boys, but like versus women. So I'm trying to grasp what the difference is of why in your eyes men might be mature enough to date older women but women aren't.
I would not date a 19-year-old man. So my boyfriend at the time was 25. I said 24 and under is questionable on both sides. So my boyfriend at the time was 25. So I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah,
I don't
but then-
think the women aren't mature at 19. I just think they don't have enough dating experience to look for certain signs and red flags that they could end up in a situation where they're controlled or.
Yeah, but they could end up in that situation with a guy who's their age.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but when they're older, they're able to discern better, so they won't end up in that
But if
situation.
they've never been in a relationship before, they haven't. There's nothing in their past to constitute that.
So if you had a son
If
and
you're
he
40
was,
and never had a relationship before, you're saying that could be the situation?
For sure. And you're
Okay.
still going to say that they have no
I mean, it's possible.
relationship background to be
It's-
able to
Alright.
identify those red
It's
flags.
possible,
Can I
but
can I just add one last thing, and I think maybe you'll agree with me on this too. That if a person is really fucking stupid when they're young, they're usually fucking stupid when they're old. And if a person has really bad discernment when they're young, they usually have really bad discernment when they're old. Now here's the opposite trend I've noticed. When young people have really good discernment, they have really good discernment when they get older. And if they're really smart when they're young, they're smart when they're
You're
older.
saying people never
So
grow
the
and
thing when you're
change.
talking about discernment, especially, right? I think it's a thing you have or you don't have. I don't think that if you're making good decisions at 23, you're not making good decisions at 43. But I definitely think if you're not making good decisions at 23, you're probably not making good decisions at 43.
so you're saying people don't grow and evolve at all?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that some parts of intuition and some parts of what is intuitive stay with you, just like intelligence. If you're stupid when you're 24, you're generally pretty stupid when you're 44. And if you have good discernment when you're 24, you generally have good discernment when you're 44. What I'm saying is that those things don't go away, they get enhanced. Am I saying that you could have a 19-year-old who gets a bit smarter as she gets older? Sure. Have a bit better discernment as she gets older? Perhaps. But the thing is like, if they had good discernment to begin with, that's just going to grow. If they had bad discernment, it's probably not going to. It's probably always going to stay the same. Have you ever noticed the trend when young people are fuck-ups? When they're older, they're usually still fuck-ups, right? Have you noticed that?
I don't agree with that.
I believe in growth and change,
All right.
and learning from your past experiences. Some people don't learn, some people do. I'm one of the people who did learn.
Here, pull up the chart. All right, so this is intelligence. So the red curve is, or hold on, relationship between age and general intelligence is the blue, crystallized intelligence is the green, and fluid intelligence is the red. So you could actually kind of make an argument that a woman at 20 is more intelligent than a man at 40, with the exception of that would be the crystallized intelligence.
Which is the important part.
But you have the red, which is the fluid intelligence, which takes a nosedive at 25. It peaks at 25, but starts going down. So the red, that's the fluid intelligence. So I don't know. So sometimes younger people be more intelligent in certain metrics.
But isn't it scientifically speaking, men don't fully mature till they're 41?
41?
Correct. Yeah, look it
I
up.
don't know.
Look it up.
No,
When
when you're
it's the
talking
frontal
about
lobe development.
when you're talking about
Sounds like
fully mature, are you saying that the end of their growth of their brain and everything else
Women?
is finally complete?
Correct. Women, I believe it's
Okay.
32, 33, and for men, it's 40, 41. You can look it up.
Okay, and so what do you mean by fully developed though? Just so that I understand.
Emotional maturity.
So men stop having emotional maturity past 41?
No, their brain is finally fully developed.
Okay, so then what does fully developed mean?
Having the capacity to understand everything to the highest extent that your brain can give you.
So they can never understand past 41 any higher than their understanding at 41?
No, it's, what did you say? It's the front.
It's the frontal lobe development, but it's not that old. I know that studies have
The
had it.
prefrontal lobe for women is supposed to be fully developed at 25.
25, yeah, and I think it's 28 for men. I do think that that's shifted now with a lot of the rise in technology. I think it's more like 28 and 31 based on recent studies, but it's
I
the
need to
frontal
move
lobe
things on.
development.
We have a lot to get through, guys. What's the minimum yearly income you'd like your future husband to make?
I don't know. I'm not like, I'm probably,
Do you want him to make more than you or as much as you?
I don't think, to me, it matters because I know that I'm going to always provide for myself and I'm not going to depend on my partner's like income fully to.
Do you want to have kids?
Yes.
Would you be okay with dating a man who wants to be a stay-at-home husband?
No.
So his money doesn't matter.
I think
Okay, what would be the minimum income? Would you date a guy who works at McDonald's while you're...
as long as we're not on the poverty line, if I loved him and I was able to provide as well, like it wouldn't matter to me because money is not as significant as a connection.
Okay, what about you?
It would definitely have to be the same amount or more as I'm making.
So how much?
It wouldn't be less. I don't know. I would say, like, preferably if I could pick like a number, like above 200K a year.
More than 200,000, what about you?
I think where I live matters, so I'd say at least maybe above, or no, minimum 80K.
80K? Okay.
Yeah.
I think 60 to 100.
Okay.
I actually don't care as long as you're working as hard as you can.
Okay, he's working really hard at McDonald's.
That is all that matters to me. Try your hardest and we'll get there eventually.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Around 6 figures, give or take.
So 90 to 110?
Yeah.
Okay, what about you?
A grown man. Probably
You gotta
like
lower the mic
six-
or fix your posture.
6 figures.
6 figures. So what does that mean? That's either $100,000 or 999.
Yeah, like minimum 100.
Minimum 100,000.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you?
Doesn't matter.
How much does your husband make? So if your husband stopped working, you'd be fine with it?
Well, no, I mean, he has to work, but it
Okay.
doesn't matter. I don't have a requirement as to how much.
Do you have kids? Or
No.
do you want
No.
kids? Or?
No. So
Okay.
it's a little different situation because we don't have kids. We both work.
Okay, what about you?
With the degree I'm supposed to be getting, like, in a couple of years or a year or whatever, however long it takes, I would want them to at least make half of what I make or more. So for an accountant, like when they start, it's like 90,000 or 80,000. So I would want them to make at least 40 to 50,000.
Okay, what about you?
My husband and I make the same amount of money.
So
So are you wanting to know how much we
sure,
make?
the number, I guess.
65K.
Okay, next.
I would say at least half of what I make, and hopefully you're also working on growing your career because that's what I do. So I don't really have like a set
Sure.
number.
All right, what about you?
Without kids, 75. With kids, 150.
Okay. All right, and then height. How tall are you, and what's the minimum height that you would date?
I'm 5'5". It's probably like
How tall do you want your... Let's not do minimum for you to date because you would maybe date a guy who's willing to take you to golf and stuff or whatever. Minimum height for your husband.
wait, what?
Don't worry about it. Minimum height for
Golf? What? I'm
Golf and
confused.
stuff.
Oh, I know what place
Golf
you're
and
talking about.
stuff?
That place is
It's a
fun.
putt-putt place. Isn't it?
It's a golf.
Oh my God, do I have to... Conceivably, a woman would go on a date with a guy that she's not attracted to because the guy is offering her like a experience. Oh, let me take you to this concert that's your favorite musician. Okay, he's like a dwarf. You might go on a date with him. Does that make sense?
No, I wouldn't because that's not my character. Like, if I'm not interested in...
But could you conceive that a woman would go on a date with a guy that she's not attracted to because he's offering to take her to the Bahamas?
Sure.
Okay, so...
Also, how would you feel if you hadn't eaten breakfast this morning?
What?
How would you feel if you hadn't eaten breakfast this morning?
Hangry?
Somebody answered it for her, so somebody whispered it.
Okay, well, that would have been my answer
how
regardless.
tall are you? How tall are you? And what would be the minimum height for like your future husband, the guy you're going to spend your life with?
Okay, I'm 5'5", probably like 5'2".
Okay.
I don't really care about
5'2",
height.
okay.
I'm 5'6", so he would have to be same height or taller.
Okay.
I'm 5'8", so I would prefer like, I don't know, I kind of want to wear heels if I could. So like 5'10".
Okay, what about you?
I'm 5'10". I'd rather them be 5'11" or higher.
Sure.
I'm 5'5". I'd say like 5'7", 5'8".
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm 5'5", so like taller than me, 5'8" and higher.
I'm 5'9", so probably 5'10" or higher.
I'm 5'7". Minimum would probably be 5'6", because that's my husband. He's a little shorter.
I'm 4'11" and I love wearing heels, so I would want someone who probably is like 5'4" or higher.
I'm 5'7", and my preference would be 5'7" or above.
I'm 5'3", and my preference would also be 5'3" or above.
I'm 5'7", and my preference would be 5'10" or above.
And then all y'all who are in relationships, how tall is your boyfriend?
6 foot.
6'1".
5'11".
5'6".
Okay. This is kind of interesting. All right. So, what was the next thing?
Brian, how much would a woman have to make for you to be with her?
Nothing. Don't care.
That's crazy.
Don't care.
It's wild.
Now, I'd like her to not be in debt, like substantial debt, but don't care. In terms of her income, don't care.
Man, that's weird. It's almost like
differences.
I mean, it seems like you have really low standards, though. Surely you expect her to work and try her absolute best to make money, right, Brian?
No, don't care. Don't care at all.
That's why do you have such low standards, though? Why shouldn't she make $150,000 a year? Like, I was just thinking about this as I was hearing the answers, and I was like, man, I must have really low standards. I feel like my wife should make exactly what I make or higher. She's not trying hard enough.
I don't think men prioritize that when it comes to attraction. It just doesn't matter.
Oh, that's really weird. Then almost like, wait, there's a position of privilege again that we're looking at?
Can I chime in here?
Sure.
Yeah, I would love to hear
because
it.
I did say the highest number. I think just realistically, looking from an economic perspective,
You mean height or money?
Financial.
No, I think she said 200K.
Oh, just kidding. Not quite the highest, but I said 150.
Okay, yeah,
you
not quite
mentioned
the highest,
150.
but go
You
ahead.
mentioned 150. I think for me, when I started dating my boyfriend, he was and still is dealing with a lot of debt. He was a high school math teacher making absolutely no money. And it was kind of one of those things that it's like I wasn't attracted to him for his money. He's making great money now. He's in gas and oil acquisition, so good for him. But with that, I don't think it's necessarily a financial thing for me. I think my answer just had a lot more to do with like realistic economics.
It's expensive.
Well, I don't understand. Do you think that Brian doesn't want to deal with realistic economics?
No, not necessarily. I mean,
well, then how come he doesn't care? He just must have low standards, right?
For me, it wasn't necessarily a standard thing. If he was making absolutely nothing, I love him for who he is. If he goes broke, we'll figure it out.
That's not what you said, though. What you said was, you said when asked, how much do you want him to make? You said it's going to be between X and Y. It would be the minimum amount that I would accept. Otherwise, not trying hard enough, essentially. So,
but I think that there's a difference between wanting and needing. So I don't need him to make any money. Obviously, I would want him to make a financial input into our marriage and into our children.
How much does a man need to make for you? And the answer was between X and Y. Interestingly enough, for Brian, the answer is 0. And that's really weird. It really seems like there's a standard here, which is from a position of privilege from women, where they put a requirement for what a man needs to make or he's not trying hard enough. And yet when I ask the man, he says, I don't give a shit. That's just bizarre to me.
Going back, though, because one of the questions that was asked was, would you marry somebody who wanted to be a stay-at-home dad? I would. Mm-hmm. And so that was a conversation with my boyfriend at the time.
Yeah, but that's still a resource allocation thing, right? Like I'm still
100%.
getting. So like Brian, for instance, I didn't ask him if there would be a requirement she was a stay-at-home mom. He just said flat out, no. There's no income requirement. Regardless of circumstance, no income requirement. So meaning, if she just wasn't having his kids, he still didn't give a shit if she made 0. That's really strange. That really seems like there's a standard here, which is really high for men and really low for women. That's all I'm saying.
I think the standard for me, at least, just falls on the fact that if we need to be able to put a roof over our heads, I think going back to even what you said, Liz, okay. Even if like just enough to get by. If we lived on a tent under a bridge and we loved each other, it didn't matter. It's just a matter of having a roof over our head and food in the fridge and being able to send our kids to school.
And to be fair, the question was of preference,
Correct.
like not like a necessity. If that makes sense.
Want versus need.
Yeah.
No. Well, what was the question? Did anybody even tell me what the question was? Anybody?
The question was,
how much money?
Do you want your partner to make?
Like
their salary?
I'm pretty sure would you prefer?
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
I mean, I don't know the exact wording, but I
think it was something along the lines of, what's the minimum income you'd like your future husband to make? Something.
What's the minimum?
I mean, my answer was preferably. It's not like it can be changed depending on how I actually feel for that person in the situation, but preferably.
It's the idea.
Then how come there was qualifiers like try? Like, he's not trying hard enough if he's not doing X, Y, and Z, right? He's not trying hard enough if he's not making this income. That's bizarre. That sounds like a qualifier. Like,
I mean, I didn't
you
say
don't
that.
think he's good enough, right?
I didn't say that.
Who said that?
I do got to move it on. Andrea, you said that men need to act like men and step up.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Women need to step down? What does that mean?
No, like men like to be chased nowadays, but I think it's like they're kind of confused. Like they say that they are attracted to women, but they are not chasing women. They want to be chased. So that's like more masculine energy, and like they're kind of looking for that masculine energy, and so they're not like giving that. So like they're kind of really looking for a man, like they're not.
So
they're like,
are you saying they're gay? Or what?
Like maybe they are gay, but they don't want to admit it, and so like they're going after these women and like, oh, let me contact like 5 women at once, like to distract himself that like that like maybe.
Wait, so men who enjoy it if a woman pursues they're less masculine.
Like let's like they'll be like, oh, let's hang out. Okay, here's my address.
Let me just try to get through things quickly here. What's up?
Well, I hate to psychologize, but have you been with a guy who came out later as gay?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I have not.
Okay. So do you think women need to act like women and step up? Or I don't know if it would be step down.
What do you mean?
Well, you said men need to act like men and step up.
Yeah.
So do women need to act like women and step up?
Like,
or step down? I don't know.
We just keep our standards, and like, if we don't like how they're approaching us, then like we need to just move on, and because I don't know, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this guy is just not giving me the attention that I want. It's like he's asking me to like go to him. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, he needs to come to me. Like, you shouldn't be chasing a man.
What if he's just not that into you?
Then don't go out with him then.
Okay.
He's just not into, then don't go out with him.
But I mean, so what does it
Don't give
mean?
him
Like, what does it
attention.
mean for men to act like men and to step up? What does that mean? Just to pursue, or what do you mean?
Yeah, like they should be the ones chasing, not the ones chased.
I don't know about chasing. I think maybe men should pursue. I don't know if they should be chasing.
It's the same thing.
I think it's different. Chasing is the girl, you've asked her out 7 times and I'm busy. I'm starting now. Pursuit is different than chase, I think. I mean, maybe to you it's the same, but.
Okay, men should pursue, not be pursued.
Okay. I'm not going to
Brian, it actually occurs to me as I was sitting here pondering this, the last round of questions. I'm sorry to bring this back, but this is actually bothering me, so I'm going to bring it up.
There is just a lot to get through.
I know.
There's
Very
a lot.
quickly, though. Very quickly. I got to understand this. If you really thought it was about preference, why wouldn't you say millions of dollars or billions? If you honestly thought that the money thing was about preference,
We said minimum.
why wouldn't you
minimum.
say? Why
We
wouldn't you
didn't
say
say
I want
what
a man?
the
Hang on.
most. We didn't say
Let me
max.
finish the question. Let me finish the question. Why wouldn't you say I want a man who's 6'5" and has millions
Your question
of
is
dollars?
answered.
Hang
You
on.
said minimum.
6'5" Just chill out before you start spurging. Why wouldn't you have said that if you really thought it was about preference?
Because
Why?
it was minimum. The question was, how much money would you like him to make minimum?
Yeah, if it was
There's
about
your
the
answer.
minimum, that was a preference. Why wouldn't you say millions?
Because it's
Because
unrealistic.
Who wouldn't prefer that as a minimum?
Because I'm trying to also make sure that I get by and I'm not putting unrealistic standards on him.
Yeah, but it's a preference. If you really thought it was a preference, why would you just say, I prefer at minimum $80 million? Like, who wouldn't prefer that?
Because I'm not trying to put unrealistic
No.
expectations on
It's
men.
because you didn't see it as a preference. That was cope, and it has to be cope, because otherwise everybody in the right mind would say, my minimum preference if it was just off what I preferred, would be $100 trillion, right? Wouldn't everybody say that?
No, I don't want that kind of money. I wouldn't either.
You don't want that kind of money. Oh, okay.
I feel like if you have too
All right.
money, if you have too much money, you have nothing to work for.
We get shamed, so.
Wait, so question. So men need to act like men and step up. Okay. Do women need to step up and act like women, act like ladies?
Well, I mean, if you're dating someone, like, and you're being like, I don't know, you're just seeing them, like, yeah, offer loyalty, like.
So men need to be,
minimum.
but you're saying men need to be leaders, take initiative and stuff.
Yeah, that's the bare minimum.
So what if in a relationship you're dating a guy, your boyfriend, let's say you've been dating a year, he's like, I don't like how revealing you dress.
Ooh.
That has nothing to do with like a woman stepping up. Like if a girl wants to wear a dress, like that's not
wear a dress. What? I said if she's dressing in a revealing way and she's posting revealing photos on her Instagram, for
Was
example.
she doing this from the get-go, or is it like...
Yeah, like
sure.
he
I'll
went
say
after
she
her.
is. So
that's
what?
why he went after her, though, because
Not
he
necessarily.
liked how she
Not
looked.
necessarily.
And she's not going to change.
No, he just thought she was attractive, but now that he's in a... He acknowledges that
Then you can't
when you're in
change
a
people.
when you're single, and also perhaps when it comes to brainwashing... But now that he's in a relationship with you, and perhaps he's made a reassessment of like what's important to him, he's like, I don't like how she's dressing.
Break up.
Really? You think the
Then
relationship?
he should go find someone that dresses
Really?
like,
So you
like
wouldn't just to be?
long
But hold on.
skirts and stuff,
But he wants to stay with you, and he'll stay with you so long as
Then
you
he should
dress
suck
more
it up.
modestly.
Then suck it up, I guess.
Oh, that's not you being. That's not really you following his lead. Then he's saying, "Hey, look, when you were single, you're acting like a single girl. You're going to the club, but now you're going to stop going to the club. You're going to stop dressing revealing. You're going to stop posting thirst traps on Instagram."
I feel like, I don't know, like you shouldn't be with an insecure man.
Why would that be insecure?
Because like you're asking them to change like their clothes because they have.
Would you date a guy
cleavage.
who wears a dress?
I mean, if it looks nice on them, I don't
Really?
care.
You'd go out in public and hold hands with a dude who's wearing a pink dress.
Literally, like I wouldn't care.
You wouldn't care.
No,
you
wouldn't.
Care. That's ridiculous, bro. That's ridiculous.
Literally, like
No, I don't mind, sweetheart. No, would you hang on? Would you make sure it didn't get in a puddle? Would you hold it up when you crossed the street? You wouldn't want the dress to get wet. You know?
Well, I mean, like they can wear whatever they want. I don't care.
But why do y'all want us to lead? And if we lead and we're like, I'm not comfortable with how you're dressing, you want to be 50-50? Huh?
That has like nothing to do with leading. Like you're just like wanting to change us. Like that.
Here, pull up her Instagram. Pull up her Instagram. I said private
What
chat.
if he had a pink bow in his hair to go with the dress?
All right,
Great,
here's her.
probably looks
here,
great on
scroll
her.
down.
So cute.
Let's see
Oh
her
my
Instagram.
God.
She's a baddie.
Okay.
Scroll down. Scroll back up. Scroll back up.
Okay, period.
So you're dating a dude, and he's like, first off, I want you.
No one
to,
has ever told me
He's
anything
like,
like that,
first
first of
off,
all.
I want you to make your profile private, and on top of that, I want you to take down all those photos.
I wouldn't date them. That's weird.
So just to be clear, you're in love with this dude, you're in a relationship, and he's like, hey, I've come to this determination, now that we're monogamous, now that we're in a relationship, I'm not comfortable with this anymore.
I would
That's
say, I love you, but now I had to end it because...
So just to be clear, you being able to post thirst traps and you dressing revealing is more important than a
I
relationship.
feel like those aren't really like thirst traps. Like,
Hold on, your titties are like 2 seconds from being popping out. Like
my what?
Your titty, they're like literally 2 seconds.
What?
Bro, pull it back up. Pull that shit back.
Really?
Hello, bro. I mean, look.
I feel like, I don't know, since like I'm not really...
Look, I'm not saying it's the craziest.
Look bad.
I'm not saying
like,
it's
maybe,
the craziest
if I would,
thing.
like I had a big bust, but like I don't.
Here, you had something. Go
It
ahead.
doesn't look bad.
Asking a man to lead you and to step up as a man, but you are refusing to respect him.
Right. Your respect is huge.
It's not him trying to change you. It's you being a respectable woman for him as he's leading you.
And why
I
would
see
you
what
want to reveal yourself to other men? Like if you have a man that loves you.
My platform is not for men though. Like I don't post.
But
what do your insights say?
Yeah.
What do your insights say?
So if we could look at all my comments, it's all women.
If you took off every single man on your Instagram, you'd still have the same amount of likes.
For sure.
What's that?
We can look through all my likes. It's like mostly women.
Go ahead.
I feel like letting a guy, tell you what you can and can't post and where, like, to a degree, is opening the door for control, and I've had that happen to myself.
Yeah,
and it all started off with small things, and it really does progress. And yes, certain situations are different, and yes, it's not asking too much, to remove some pictures off Instagram, but when you're telling someone what they can and can't wear, you obviously don't trust them.
That does not disrespect my partner just because I'm wearing.
Yes, it does.
What
Because
if you didn't want to wear
showing
anything?
yourself to somebody else.
You are an image
Hang on, what if
of
you
your
didn't want to wear
partner.
anything? Can he tell you not to do that?
Well, obviously, but like the
Wait,
clothes.
why? What if she wanted? What if you wanted to start
It's fashion.
OF?
It's like a style. It's
What
Y2K,
if you wanted to start OF? If
you guys need to learn the difference between control too. Like you're normalizing being controlled.
No.
I'm normalizing respecting my partner because at the end of the day, my body
You're okay
should
with
be
being
for
controlled.
him or for myself.
Exclusive.
Not for
That's
anybody
because
else.
you're very conservative. Like that's okay. That's you. You're very Christian. That's you. That's okay.
Do you want to relate? Like, do you want a husband?
Okay,
do you want a
the way I
boyfriend?
dress, that does not mean I'm not gonna get a husband.
I'm just saying that in
Yeah.
general.
I mean, you haven't had a boyfriend yet.
And I'm 23. I'm not looking for a husband right now. I'm just
you
living
should
my
start
life.
looking, just
You
saying.
want a man to lead you.
I shouldn't start looking like.
Go ahead.
You want a man to lead you and be a man, XYZ. You are an image of your man. At the end of the day, like, you represent your man. So you posting revealing pictures and XYZ, and you're telling him to step up.
I'm not gonna represent my man. I don't know. Like I just feel like
represent your man. By taking his last name, you represent your man. So,
I honestly I don't know.
Aren't these conversations?
Are we talking dating
though,
or married?
Aren't these conversations that you would have beforehand, right? Like you would have these and be like, "Hey, so like, would you expect me to change the way that I dress?" Because I have these conversations. Would you expect me to change the way that I dress?
I'll answer that. First off, here's the reality: most men don't have leverage on the first date.
Correct.
Most men are not going to have the leverage to dictate anything to you because y'all are boss babe, independent, blah blah blah. Once you're in a relationship, though, if you respect his input, then I think he can start setting boundaries. You guys want to call it control, but literally all boundaries are a form of control. That's what a boundary is. Drawing lines around behaviors you don't want your partner to engage in. So prior to dating, like if you're on the first, second, third date, maybe he had no problem with you engaging in what he considers like single behavior. So it could be dressing revealing, posting thirst traps, going to the club, doing all this stuff. But once you started dating, he now wants you to act in a way that he thinks is consistent and commensurate with now being in a relationship. Like, for example, when you're single, you could technically go fuck a bunch of different dudes. Now you're in a relationship, he's controlling you.
I have a question.
Is it controlling for your boyfriend to not want you to fuck other men in a relationship?
But the thing is that they approached me knowing how I dress and everything, so that makes no sense to try to change.
I'll agree with you on
and
this.
it's like the guys that I want you to dress covered up because I don't want other men looking at you the way I look at you. It's like that's insecure. But now you're looking at another woman how I used to dress. Just you're respecting your man, but your man is not respecting you. He's not gonna really respect you because he's gonna be looking at the women that was dressing how you.
I think changing someone isn't respectful.
Like he's gonna be looking like, wow, she looks
somebody.
So
yes, it is because that's how
it is.
Why pursue someone that you want to change?
Confused decent respect. Amen.
Why pursue somebody that
let her
you
talk?
want
Let
to
her
change?
talk. Let her talk.
You
Hold
guys
on.
confuse decent respect for somebody with controlling. When it's not controlling, it is just having decent respect
But why
for
are you
somebody.
pursuing someone you
So
want to change?
I agree with that. Hold on.
Go find someone else that is covered up.
I agree with that, and I'll be charitable. The guy, if he wants a woman to dress modestly, he should probably pursue from the get-go a woman who dresses. I agree with that. However, I don't necessarily think it's wrong. Like once, for example, let's say the girl, prior to getting into the relationship, she's going out to bars and parties and clubs. I think
you do have to change
I
that
think it's
lifestyle
not an unreasonable,
in order to be like with
but wouldn't you apply that? Like, I don't think it's an unreasonable expectation.
Clothes and a lifestyle
but that's
clubbing and partying is not the same as like how you dress.
Wait, but let me ask you a question. Do you want your guy? Let me ask you a question. maybe you've had this experience. What about a guy who's liking other women's photos on Instagram?
Yes,
is that a problem?
that's exactly
is that a
what
problem?
they're doing.
Is it a problem for you?
Yeah, that is weird. 'Cause I'm not
but why would you date him going in knowing that he was doing that?
But that's sending signals.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
A guy liking. No.
Well, I mean, we're doing the
something
same thing.
skimpy.
We're liking other guys' pictures, but you change your ways.
Yeah, but you're not liking half naked photos of men on the internet.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Yeah,
like if they have a good
different issue entirely.
But
it's like a Calvin Klein.
Would you?
Yeah,
be,
literally,
would
it's
you
like
be,
whatever is popping up on my For You page.
Question.
Someone's taking beach pictures. I think they look good.
Okay,
I'm
question.
gonna like it.
If you meet a guy and he's watching a bunch of porn,
I'm not gonna date that.
How would you know? How would you? You wouldn't
ask
even
them.
know.
Do you watch?
So you
and if
would.
they say yes, then okay, then you keep your boundary, and then you
Really?
you don't pursue that. Yes, because that's weird.
You
Why
wouldn't
would
date.
you like date
You wouldn't date a guy who watches porn. I mean, that's fine.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, why not?
Because
Because why?
If they're gonna continue to watch porn while we're like in a relationship, it's just like
Okay, if
why
she's
are you
gonna
watching
continue,
other naked
if she's gonna
women?
continue dressing revealing in the relationship,
That has nothing to do with
case by
fucking.
case.
That
how
has
about
nothing
fine?
to do with
I'll bring it back down. One sec. I'll bring it back down. I'll bring it back down.
Dressing has
A
nothing
guy
to do
who
with
likes
penetration.
a guy who likes a girl's Instagram photos that are similar to yours, so it's like, I don't know, kind of revealing or whatever. Would you not be okay with that?
No, I wouldn't be okay with that.
Why not?
What? Why
Who
they
are you
liking
to
other girls'
dictate at the beginning of the relationship? Like if you're on the first date with a guy and he's like
Very controlling.
I can't.
That's super controlling.
I literally can't say anything because when you're single, before you meet someone, yes, you are liking like whatever you like.
Wait, so
he's liking his pictures.
Sure.
I'm liking my pictures.
So just to be clear,
so like that makes no sense. How am I
Here.
gonna be like, oh, so he used to like pictures? Okay, I used to like pictures too. Like that. I'm not gonna.
But this seems
hold
to
a
be a
grudge.
complaint that I hear more so from women than I hear from men. Women are like, oh my God, I'm dating this guy, but he's liking this other chick's, like some IG model, whatever, her photos.
Mm-hmm.
I hear this complaint pretty frequently. Oh, why is he following her? Whatever it is. So just to be clear, instead of the girl having a conversation with the boyfriend saying, hey, now that we've been dating for 3 months, I'm kind of uncomfortable that you're following these girls on IG. I'm uncomfortable that you're liking their shit, whatever. She should just dump him instead?
No, if he doesn't say, you know what? This makes you uncomfortable. Let me respect you and unfollow.
Beautiful.
Then okay.
So, you dressing, revealing, and posting thirst traps makes me uncomfortable. Why can't you respect me?
Okay, but he knows. Oh, again.
But you go into the relationship.
He's approaching me. Okay, I'm a model. I'm posting these pictures literally
you're a model?
Yes, like I have.
It's what you do for work.
Yes, I do it for work.
I have a question.
Okay, fine.
The way
I'm not gonna stop dressing like cute little mini skirts, Y2K, just because a man doesn't like that. But yet he approached me because he liked the way I look like that. Like he thinks I look like cool and stuff.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Liking pictures though and clothes is different. You're liking pictures of half naked girls is like sending them a signal that you're interested. Wearing clothes that are revealing.
Yeah, dressing half naked, exactly.
That's like saying you deserve to get
I'll let you in just a sec.
raped because you're wearing something
That's
revealing.
crazy.
Well, it's really not though.
So
because you're not suggesting to anyone by wearing revealing clothes that you're open for attention and I don't know.
Okay, so you're sitting there saying that you're having a hard time with your guy liking these pictures or your guy watching porn. You don't think you dressing revealing like that? There's not a guy jacking it onto your IG pictures?
So what? You're not sending them the signal you're interested.
Your man knows that. Your man knows what other men are doing to your pictures, and you're like, oh, well, it's not my issue. I'm a model.
You're not liking
I'm sure
their
there's a
picture
girl out
telling
there
them you're
doing the same thing
interested.
to a shirtless man,
That's crazy.
What?
It could be.
Basic respect for your partner, but I think if you're out at a club or just on the street wearing revealing clothing, this is a lot about who you are as a person and what you're open to, whether it's your intention or not. Like I try to dress more moderately and conservatively now, especially now that I have a boyfriend.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not dressing like this to find my husband. I don't care. Obviously, when I'm gonna find my husband,
I don't really dress.
I'm not gonna
for
dress like this
people.
when I'm 30. Like that's kind of weird.
So are you saying you don't want to find a husband until you're 30?
Yeah, I don't. After I'm 30, that's normal.
She can have that preference if she wants to.
Yeah, and if that's what I want, that's what I want. I'm not trying to find my husband in 2 years.
Who said that?
That's what I want, though. That's not what every girl wants. That's not.
Maybe
what
we
I'm
can
saying.
bring a little bit of clarity here, real quick. Who here doesn't want to be in a controlling relationship? Raise your hand.
Like everybody.
Well, I mean, what is your definition? What is your definition of controlling?
Hang on.
Obviously, switching clothes.
Hang on. I'll explain. If you just chill out for 2 seconds, I'll explain. I think that all relationships are controlling. That the nature of relationships with people are by definition controlling.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And let me explain. I like my tacos with no fucking lettuce. My wife puts lettuce on those fucking tacos, there's going to be hell to pay, right? And I like extra fire sauce. Now, here's the thing.
Oh, you're talking about Taco Bell.
It's definitely an imposition. No sidebar. But anyway, it's definitely an imposition on her to make the tacos with no lettuce for me when everybody else in the house likes the tacos with lettuce, right? It's a form of control. I'm controlling her behavior. She ordinarily wouldn't make the tacos with lettuce. In the case with me, she makes them without lettuce, doing something which she's at first doing normally, right, for me. That's a form of control. Basically, everything in relationships is a form of control. Everything. We're just talking about thresholds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that really what we're talking about? It's just a threshold for control. So if that's the case, then all Brian's pointing out here is like, look, it's very controlling if you say, if a man goes and clicks on a woman's profile and leaves a like, right, you're trying to enforce a form of control. I don't like this behavior. He likes it, right? But you don't like it, so you're controlling his behavior. He's doing the exact same thing when it comes to clothes. How's that not exactly the same thing? You're still trying to control behavior no matter what.
I disagree, but I'm out of the conversation.
I'm just confused though. Like, couldn't you say that, like, he's liking one woman's photo? Maybe it's a couple different women's photo.
That's literally sending them the signal that you're interested, though, by
Not
liking
if they have
their.
a million followers. Like,
why don't you trust him? Why don't you trust
if your whole following list is a bunch of like Instagram girls half naked and he's liking their pictures all the time, come on.
Yeah, he has less of a chance with them than you do dressing reveal and going to the club.
He's still like sending that signal to them that he's interested in.
But you guys are the posting thirst traps thing is like the.
I mean, I only post thirst traps for business, financial reasons.
Like a revealing photo. Like a revealing photo.
Bikini pictures?
Yeah.
Sure, bikini photo. Sure.
What? Oh. Sorry.
Now look, it could be like a certain pose, like you're the ass out. The ass out photo, that could be. Look, and by the way, I don't think your photos are that crazy or anything, but.
No, yeah,
well, to get this right, let me get this right to you, Chair 2. If your man was liking the pictures that the gal in pink had up that we just saw, okay?
Her pictures aren't that bad.
You would tell him not to do that?
No, her picture, there's nothing wrong with her pictures. There's way worse pictures out there.
So he can like those pictures? That would
I mean, most girls post pictures like that. So it's not uncommon.
Wait, going to you, if your boyfriend was liking another girl's photos that were like yours, you'd be cool with it?
If they had like a low following count, yeah, that's kind of weird. But if they're like, viral and stuff, maybe like he likes her style or something,
Okay.
Right, because he likes
it's like liking a celebrity's picture. Like, I'm not gonna get mad because you're liking a celebrity's picture.
For Chair 2,
they're never gonna look at your way.
If your boyfriend was liking her pictures, the pictures that we just saw, Brian, pull those up again. Right, just so that we can demonstrate this.
That would be like
right.
that. I would see that is a little weird.
Okay, so your boyfriend's liking these pictures. They're just the first and second picture. And he looked at you and said, "Baby, I just like the picture because I really like the style." you would believe that shit.
No, that's fucking stupid. That's a dumb
of course
excuse.
not. So why was he liking those photos?
That's literally the entire point I've been making.
The box
Chair
has
2,
spoken.
why is he liking those photos?
Huh? Well, that's the entire point I've been making. Sending them a signal that he thinks that it's an attractive picture. But I mean, I've seen way worse pictures than that. How'd my boyfriend?
I'm not saying you haven't seen way worse. I'm just saying that if he said it's because of the style, you wouldn't believe him.
No, right? I mean, that's a dumbass excuse.
Then why would you expect him to believe her if she said, "I'm just putting them up there for women"? Why would you fucking? Why would he ever believe that?
If it's a guy that's like not into fashion or anything, I would see that is weird.
Yeah.
But if it's like a fashion
really
guy,
depends on
okay,
the
like
type of guy.
I could see like, oh, okay, maybe he like the.
I got to move it on.
fashion
You said women are the prize. How so and why?
We are the prize. Like we're just there to like literally, we're just genuine. You know, we're there to like listen to them. Genuine.
What does that mean? What does genuine mean?
Genuine. You've never heard of what genuine
is? A
No,
word.
but like, what do you mean by genuine?
Like
what does that mean?
We're
What does that
literally, like,
mean?
no ill intentions, you know.
No ill
like,
intentions?
No, like we're there to literally love,
Here, take
literally
that off the table,
love
too.
them, be in love with them, literally like, oh, you, like, oh, just literally like. Love
Wait,
them.
hold on.
Love them unconditionally.
Women are way more likely to go on a date with a dude and like have no intentions.
Like no intention.
Like
so
y'all, for example, have you heard of the term foodie call? So a girl will go on a date with a dude just for like the food.
I've never heard it like that. But
You've never done that?
I get what you're like trying to say, but I've never heard
Or
heard
it doesn't
like
have to be
that.
food. It could just be an experience. Like, oh, he's going to take me to a concert. I'm not really feeling it, but fuck it. Why not?
No, I've never done that before.
Why do women wear makeup?
Okay, I'm gonna just
makeup is like
put it down.
Art.
Makeup is art?
Yeah.
But like it's
makeup is
changing
art.
your physical appearance.
It's enhancing your appearances.
What do you mean? So it's enhancing, so you're not being genuine. Like that's not how you actually look.
How does that make sense? Like,
What do you
it's not
mean?
Being genuine. Makeup is not genuine? How?
No, it's not genuine. That's not how you genuinely look. You look different.
Oh, that's how you're using it. No, yeah, that's not how you genuinely look. Like we don't have
you
black
said
wing
women are
eyeliner
genuine.
without makeup, obviously, but it's art. So you know what? We do like that wing eyeliner. We do, like these like pink lip liner.
you do
know,
to look better.
We do it because like it does like make us look better. Like we
Sure.
do feel better when we look better.
Hey
So
guys,
why not
knock it
just do
off.
it?
Go ahead.
So literally, why not do it if it makes us feel better? Because we do look better.
I think makeup
it's
can
like
be really pretty. Like, you
it's
have
like
really
getting a new
Yeah, but
haircut.
yeah, that's fine.
It's like a guy getting a new haircut. He likes to do it because it makes him look good.
It's not genuine.
So you're gonna go out to
It's
a
not
date like
genuine?
with your hair like
You're not
done.
using it in like the right way though.
What?
It's not
Like I feel
What does
like
hair have to do with anything?
because like people say that like a guy's haircut is a dude's makeup.
yeah, it's like a
basically.
girl's makeup. Yeah. If you never heard that,
Yeah,
now
women
you
can
have.
do their hair too, though. Typically, it's not socially tolerated, especially in a romantic context, for men to wear makeup.
But now we're comparing. So like a guy's haircut is like the same as a girl.
No,
doing her
trust
makeup.
me, it definitely
Oh,
isn't.
trust me, it
Trust me, it
is.
definitely
Trust me,
isn't.
a guy's haircut literally makes a difference.
Well, now I'm gonna use your
I'm not
logic so that we
arguing,
can use
hold on.
like
analogies.
if you were to shave your whole head right now, you would look way different. But
I'm
if you
not
were to grow out
arguing.
your whole hair and like grow it long, you're not gonna look.
Do-
like-
Sure, but that would
hold
apply
on.
to you
Do you-
too.
do you actually
if you shave
think-
your head, you would look
maybe
different.
maybe you will look less attractive with your hair.
Yeah, I
bald,
agree
maybe
with you.
will look
Hold
more
on.
attractive.
I agree with you that a man's haircut has an impact on his attractiveness.
Yeah, it is
I don't
like-
think it's the same order of magnitude that the difference makes when it comes to makeup.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it does. Like, they do look different with the haircut. Like, everything.
Yes, I agree that they look different.
But we would agree that that's the same with women. That women with a haircut will look different, just like men will look
Yeah.
different with a haircut. For instance, you said, Brian, if I shave you bald, you're going to look way different. I totally agree. However, if I shaved you bald, you're going to look totally different. The advantage that you have is that
women look good with
hang on,
both
Chill
short
out.
and long
One second.
hair.
1 second. Calm down. 1 second. The difference is that your makeup. Well, that was a really shitty remark. That wasn't very nice.
Well,
Anyway,
your response wasn't nice either.
what did I say that was not nice?
You don't approach. Hold on. No, you don't do that.
Well, how do you do it when somebody cuts you off?
Just let them talk, and when they're done talking, then you can talk. Just be like, okay, like.
Yeah, I know, but I wasn't done talking.
Okay, hold on. No. So wait. Let me go. You see, that's not nice, is it?
I'm sorry, I just let you go again.
Here, I'm going to bring it back on topic.
No, anyway, so back to this.
Hold
I
on.
just want to know the simple answer to the question, which is, don't you think that you still would have an advantage if you were shaved bald and had makeup, and Brian would have less of an advantage if he was shaved bald and did not have it?
Yeah, we do, because I feel like women are just more attractive than men. Period.
You see, you could have just answered the question instead of having a shitty attitude. And then everything.
I'm just matching your energy.
Here, I'm going to bring it back.
Energy
Women
here,
are the
so-
prize. Why?
If you think my energy is shitty,
Stop. Women are the prize. Why? I'm asking you.
I already said it, so you heard it.
You said women are genuine. Okay, how's that make them the prize? And they're not. They wear makeup. So they're not. Y'all ain't genuine.
Being genuine has nothing to do with
Yes, it
your
does.
physical
Yes, it does. Yes, it
appearance.
does.
Like,
It has everything to do with it.
No, it doesn't.
Hold on. Who cares more about looks, men or women?
Men do.
Oh, okay. And you're changing something about your face. Do you think men care about women's face?
Men do care about looks.
I think women
Oh,
care
okay.
more because of how you guys affect us. You make
That's not what
us not feel as attractive without makeup.
Oh, it's all men's fault.
No.
Hold up. So, so just to be clear, you're going to go ahead and grant that men care a lot about physical looks. You are warping that initial impression. The reality is, when it comes to looks, you can't get beyond really anywhere unless the person's attracted to you. Really. And looks is a major component of that. I think women care about looks a bunch, but men definitely care a lot about looks.
Yeah,
and you're putting on a literal facade. Now look, some women wear minimum makeup, some women wear none. It's a facade. You wouldn't wear it if it didn't make you look better. Now, maybe it's the case that a man would date you regardless, whether you have the makeup or you don't, but there are some women who do some like insane transformations to the point where that dude wouldn't deal with you if you didn't look like that with the makeup. Damien, pull up that makeup tab on the Twitter. It's one of the first Twitter ones it's old. You got it? Yeah. There's a whole bunch of makeup things we can pull up. I'm telling you, there's a lot of dudes who ain't dealing with the girl on the left, but they're dealing with the girl on the right. Like,
I think that's edited. Her face is smaller.
Yeah, that's definitely
it's a different
Facetune.
It's a different angle.
No, her face is
It's
less
definitely
wide.
edited.
Yeah, it's like
It's a different photo.
Facetune.
Well, yeah, but look at how big her face is.
Here,
compared
okay,
to on the right.
Damien, pull up the Discord. Go to the makeup tab.
I mean, I see what you're saying.
If you guys disagree that makeup changes your physical
I don't
appearance,
disagree.
pull it
No,
up.
but that was
nobody agree.
Makeup tab.
Makeup time?
Discord. You got it? Pull it up. Fake up, yes.
If you're completely changing your looks, yeah, it's a problem. But
let's
most
see here. Which one do I
oftentimes-
want to pick? Scroll up. Which one do we
But
pick?
yeah, even if they look different without it, they're still gonna put it on. So it's like,
Hold up.
it's still gonna be put
scroll down,
on,
scroll down. Hold on. I'm trying to think of number 8.
Circumcision. What?
Chill out, man.
I was just
She
reading
still
a
looks pretty to
word.
me. But the thing is, like, okay,
But
she's going
I'm telling you that there are dudes who would not date the girl on the left, but they would date the girl on the right.
Okay, that's what
And
they
I'm not
want.
saying all women put on that full glam like that. I don't know if that's full glam, but
It's full glam.
so X out that. Let's see another one. I'm just saying it's not genuine. Like if men lied about, I mean they do. Men lie about certain things, but I don't think anything is as powerful as makeup. Like a man could lie and say he's an attorney or a doctor, but really he works at McDonald's. That's not even as powerful as the effect that makeup has in a differentiation when it comes to attractiveness.
What I mean by genuine.
Hold on, scroll back, scroll up.
You guys lie about the size of your freaking eggplants. I feel like that's
Yeah,
pretty
literally.
bad.
Yeah.
Like it's
Do you
fine.
ask a
It's
lot of
fine
men
if
about
we
the size
if
of
we
their
look a little different.
No,
without
but it's a
camera,
known
like-
fact that y'all lie about them.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's wrong.
Well, hang on. Suddenly you can make generalities, but before we ask you about a generality about self-attractiveness, you can't answer that question.
Well, it's not a generality. I'm a female, and I have, in fact, been with men. Have you been with men?
Have men lied to you about the size of their eggplants? You just said they didn't.
Well, I'm a female, so I would know the answer to that. But have you been with men?
How would
Can
you know the answer to
that?
that if no man's ever lied to you about the size of their eggplant?
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
How would you know that if no man's ever lied to you about the size of your eggplant?
I think most people at this table could probably say that a man has lied.
Yeah, but how could you know that if no man's ever lied to you about that?
I didn't say that.
You did say that. You said no, you've never asked a man, therefore they've never lied
I've never
to you.
asked. That doesn't mean that when the big reveal happens, you don't see that it's not right.
So it just came up in random conversation. And random guy, we're having a chit chat, and he said that he was hung like a fucking stud horse, and he wasn't. That's what happened.
Bro, This is such a false equivalence because.
I know.
I lose all.
Hold on, guys, stop. It's a total false equivalence. Here, any girl here at the table, you weren't into the dude, and then he said, "I have a big cock," and then you fucked him. Really?
No, that's
it's a total
nobody
false
said
equivalence.
that. Nobody said that.
Yeah, you offered it up as well. Men lie about their penis
First
size.
of all, I've never had a one night stand, so that's not really
Well, where are all these men who
applicable
lie
to
about
me.
you, lie to you about their eggplant then?
Most men,
did that-
you're a man, you know this.
I've never lied
No,
about my
I don't
penis
know
size.
this.
What the fuck?
And not
guys
only
who
have I
have.
never
What
had
the
a conversation about the size of a man's penis with another man, therefore there's never an opportunity for such man to lie to me about the size of his penis, but it would never be pertinent information to me one way or the other. And also, you're in the same position if you say no man's ever lied to you about the size of their penis. How do you know that?
Because I'm a female and I've been with men.
What? Why?
I don't even understand.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Let's just make this clear. Has a man ever lied to you about the size of their penis?
Of course.
Okay, they have. So how did this come up without you asking him?
I think we know how this comes up.
No, I don't think we do, which is why I'm asking you, because I'm not sure.
Well, if you know the story of the birds and the bees, that might be a good start.
So during the story of the birds and the bees, a man lied to you about his penis size. Is that correct?
Oh boy. Next topic? No? No gavel sound? Is that no? There's one on the table I can,
It's not even a fair.
What's your favorite? You see the crystals? Can I just ask you this? Do you see the crystals there on the table? Yeah, I just want to know your favorite colored crystal.
Why?
Why would it? What do you mean?
Oh my god.
Why do you
I can't know your favorite colored crystal.
Why do you want to know?
I was just curious.
I'm curious why you want to know.
You can't
I just told you though.
I can't answer with a question?
Yeah, I'm just curious. That's
bad
all.
form.
So hang on. It's fair for you to ask
I
me
tend
why.
to slouch, so.
It's totally fair for you to ask me why,
so
and I give
clever.
you my
Good
answer.
job.
I'm just genuinely curious. What's your favorite color crystal?
I don't have one.
You don't have a favorite color?
Nope.
Crystal?
Mm-mm.
If you had to select which color crystal, which color would you pick?
All of them.
All right, we have Blawfest. Does mental illness?
Thanks for watching. There is hope in Jesus Christ. He will never leave you or forsake you. Like and subscribe and join our Discord for friends and more.